Detecting malicious IP addresses, domains, or URLs in your logs is quite a difficult problem. For example, we can see here we have a destination IP of 10.0.0.2. And what we want to do is essentially identify if this IP address has ever been mixed up in anything malicious or needs further investigation. So the traditional way of doing this is to begin searching through lots and lots of different feeds. So you'll work your way through various different locations, all with different APIs, different data formats, different interfaces, and try to find out what's the best source of information for this particular IP address. This whole process is error prone, but it's also very labor intensive. And if you wish to automate it, then you're stuck with file downloads and a lot of heavy lifting in order to make the automation work in a very effective way without impacting things like query performance, because you're actually updating your logs on the fly. All of this is really complicated, and it adds a great deal of overhead to a security operation, which is why Coralogix now has the Unified Threat Intelligence feed. What this allows you to do is to collect from some of the most prominent feeds for security information on the market, for example, Ipsum and URL House, OpenFish, and more. And it will collect all of those into one place and enrich your logs automatically with no extra effort from your part at all. So the way it looks and how it works. It's really straightforward to set up. Rather than having to siphon through lots of different URLs, you simply go to the data flow section and go to data enrichment. From here, you can see Unified Threat Intelligence. In this section here, you can select a key, any key you want. For example, I'll just type in IP address here and select Add Key. Now, this will be enriched with security data from some of the most prominent feeds in the market. And I can remove this as easily just by clicking the one logo. The documentation is great for this, by the way, and it covers some of the biggest use cases for this tool. For example, detecting phishing attempts. So you can look for IP addresses that are known to be involved in phishing attacks. Browsing malicious websites. So, for example, users within your network that are reaching out and communicating with networks, with websites that are potentially quite dangerous. Detection of potential data exfiltration, bot detection, detection of brute force scamming. And this is just some of the things that you can do with this data. So how does it actually look in the logs? We can see the same destination IP address field, but now it's been suffixed with this suspected field. This indicates that there was a hit in one of the data feeds that's been scanned by the Unified Threat Intelligence feed. And you can see here that it's given you more than just an indication that there's a problem. You'll also see information about when it was last reported, the feed name, you'll see an ID, you'll see a count, and you'll also see things relating to confidence metrics as well, to make sure that you completely understand what the context of the security violation could possibly be. And this means that you not only know, okay, there's something wrong with this IP address, you know the context, you know the world around this IP address and how it's been used in the past. And what this allows you to do is to get a really robust, really fast, really powerful insight into how your operations are working, into where your security risks are, all without having to worry too much about the operational overhead. And just to add, this is one of the out-of-the-box enrichments that Coralogix offers, so Unified Threat Intelligence. Geo-enrichment and AWS enrichment are also out-of-the-box offerings. So geo-enrichment will look at IP addresses and give you geolocational data for those IPs. AWS enrichment will take AWS resource IDs and give you metadata about them from the AWS API. However, if you have specific enrichments that you'd like to make into your logs, you can also use the custom enrichment feature as well. So you can really see how powerful the baseline Unified Threat Intelligence feed could be, because this will enrich your data with a really, really clear and really robust set of metadata. But if there's anything missing, you can add the custom enrichment as well. So all of this put together means that you essentially have a really powerful baseline for detecting and actioning logs, or IP addresses, logs in your logs, domains and URLs that are involved in some way in malicious activity and require further investigation.